Live from the Channels Television Global Headquarters here in Lagos, Nigeria, you're watching Newsroom series, and today our focus will be centered on the Northwestern region. But before we get into most of the stories coming in from that region, let's have a snippet at the top stories making the rounds at the moment. The Supreme Court of Nigeria has dismissed the appeal filed by Agbola Ajayi of the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State against the candidacy of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa of the All Progressives Congress. In the lead judgment delivered by Justice Lawa Garba, the Apex Court dismissed Agbola Ajayi's appeal on the grounds that it was filed out of the time and that it lacked the right to file the lawsuit, being from another party. The court added that the matter is an internal affair of the defendant's party. The Apex Court held that the appellants lack the locus standi to pursue the case, rendering the appeal unsustainable. The Apex Court further affirmed that the case was statute barred, upholding the decisions of the lower courts. The judgment emphasized that the cause of action arose on May 20, 2024, when the nomination forms were submitted to INEC, while the appellants filed their suit at the Federal High Court on June 7, 2024, well beyond the 14-day limits prescribed by law. Consequently, the appeal was dismissed, with the court ordering Agbola Ajayi to pay the sum of 2 million naira in costs to each of the 4 respondents. Ajayi had sought to nullify the election of Deputy Governor Dr. Olayide Owolabi Adelami over allegations of discrepancies in his name change, as well as challenging the legitimacy of Governor Lucky Orimeson Aiyedatiwa and the All Progressives Congress in the case. Ajayi's argument centered on the claim that Adelami, who previously had Jackson as his middle name, while in secondary school had changed it to Owolabi without proper documentation. We begin in Zamfara State, where Governor Dauda Lawal has paid an unscheduled visit to Gusau General Hospital to inspect the ongoing renovation at the center and assess the state of healthcare service delivery in the facility. During the visit, the governor was taken around the hospital by the Commissioner for Health and the Chief Medical Director of the hospital.
This is Gusau General Hospital, one of the oldest healthcare facilities in Zamfara State. Following its declaration of a state of emergency in the healthcare sector by the state government, Governor Dauda Lawal ordered a total renovation and re-equipping of the hospital. Governor Lawal is here on an unscheduled visit to the hospital to inspect the level of work at the facility. Accompanied by the State Health Commissioner, Dr. Nafisa Amaradun, and the Chief Medical Director of the hospital, the governor moved around various departments to assess the progress of the project. During the inspection, the governor notes that several aspects of the renovation need to be revisited and immediately instructed the contractor to go back to the drawing board and make the necessary corrections.
I'm here to see for myself the extent of the work or the construction that is ongoing, so that if there are issues, we should be able to address these issues as quickly as possible. And I've seen there are a lot of things that need to be revisited. And therefore, I've instructed both the contractor as well as the people handling this project to make sure they go back to drawing board and do the right thing.
According to the state government, the project is at 50% completion and is at the level of equipping the wards, including painting and installation of the furniture.
We made observation with regards to the infrastructure and the equipment, which all the contractors take note of that already.
We sincerely require more manpower to the hospital because, as you can see, we still lack many manpower for the state, more especially doctors and nurses.
Governor Lawal assured that he will return to the hospital on another surprise visit to ensure that necessary corrections are made and the project is executed according to the required standard.
Meanwhile, the UNFP Nigeria Deputy Country Representative, Kwasan Kwawu, has commended Governor Dauda Lawal's administration for its dedication to strengthening healthcare services, particularly in maternal and child health, family planning, and the prevention of gender-based violence. He reaffirmed UNFPA's commitments to supporting Zamfara State in areas such as reproductive health out-of-school girls, and women's rights, stressing the importance of partnership in driving sustainable development.
One area where we can certainly support our capacity building. When we met with director of the SAC Center and the director of Chura Center, we realized that the centers are in the temporary shelter now, and I understand that there is also already investment in building centers, the SAC Center and the Fistula Center. But also when those centers will be ready, they will probably need to be staffed. At UNFPA, we have the capacity and the expertise to provide technical support to train the staff working on the SAC centers to respond to survivors. But also on the fistula, we are the agency which is supporting the government in all the states, and the central federal government also in the capacity building, the training of the surgeon and all the staff.
In his remarks, Governor Dauda Lawal emphasized his administration's readiness to work closely with development partners to enhance healthcare services and human development in the state. The governor also highlighted key challenges in the healthcare sector, particularly in rural areas, and called for stronger collaboration to ensure improved access to essential health services.
Zamfara State, has faced a lot of challenges and is still facing some of these challenges. As responsible government, we are making conscious efforts, especially in the health sector, to make sure the desired attention is given to that sector. And one key issue that is of importance to us is about women. And we are really concerned about so many issues that women are facing in the state, ranging from the childbirth, the mortality rate, capacity building, empowerment, as well as even the quality of the data of women. And this is something that we on our own, we're making conscious effort to make sure all these issues are being handled the way they should, according to all standards.
Over in Kebbi State, the government has confirmed an outbreak of meningitis in 3 local government areas with 26 deaths recorded so far. The State Commissioner for Health, Yanusa Musa Ismail, disclosed this during a press conference in Birnin, Kebbi. He revealed that a total of 248 suspected cases have been recorded, with 11 samples taken for examination. Of these, 3 have been confirmed negative. According to the commissioner, the affected local government areas are Gwandu, Aleiro, and Jega. He provided a breakdown of the fatalities as follows: 18 in Gwandu, 6 in Jega, 4 in Aleiro, and 1 in Arugungu. In response to the outbreak, the Kebbi State government has approved 30 million naira for the procurement of medication to contain the spread of the disease. The commissioner urged the public to maintain personal hygiene and avoid crowded places to reduce the risk of infection. He also confirmed that isolation centers have been set up to manage cases. Ahead of the 2025 dry season farming, the Kebbi State government has flagged off the 2025 dry season farming with the distribution of farming inputs to farmers and Ramadan food packages for residents of the state. This initiative is part of Governor Nasir Idris's Kaura agricultural development agenda aimed at boosting agricultural productivity in the state.
The Halliru Audu Stadium in Birnin Kebbi is showcasing a rice pyramid, symbolizing Kebbi State's position as the leading rice producer in Nigeria. Expressing his satisfaction with the agricultural revolution in Kebbi State, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security highlights the federal government's commitment under President Bola Tinubu to enhance agriculture and increase food production to tackle food insecurity.
Through various initiatives and steadfast support, Mr. President has worked tirelessly to create a conducive environment for farmers, empowering them to increase their yields and contribute to the nation's food security.
With 200,000 medium-scale farmers across the 21 local government areas of the state benefiting from the program, the need for fair and transparent distribution of resources, especially among grassroots farmers, is stressed.
Today we are flagging off the 2025 grass season requirement with the launching of 10,000 units of solar power farms, 10,000 units of gasoline power farms, 3,000 units of LPG power farms, 3,000 units of power tillers, 10,000 units of knapsack sprayers, 10,000 liters of herbicide, 10,000 liters of pesticide and insecticide, improved seed for rice cultivation, assorted fertilizer, and 200 trucks of assorted foodstuff as Ramadan palliatives.
Since the removal of fuel subsidy, dry season farmers have struggled with high petrol costs, making farming more challenging. To address this, the state government is providing alternative solutions to support farmers.
In rice production, 60% of the cost of production is on irrigation. So we now decide to try LPG. With LPG, we realize we can reduce the cost of production by 30%. So virtually, this is what informed the governor's decision to massively invest in the procurement of solar-powered pumps, as well as CNG or LPG-powered pumps.
The distribution of farm inputs by the government of Kebbi State is aimed at ensuring food security and to prevent any form of abuse. Security agencies have been directed to arrest anyone caught selling the distributed resources.
The Katsina state government has flagged off sales of essential food items at a subsidized rate in a shopping program tagged Rubun Sauki. The initiative, which is a major investment with the government committing 4 billion naira, was designed to alleviate economic hardships faced by workers, retirees, and other senior citizens across the state. Governor Diko Rada, while launching the program in the state capital, explained that the initiative, with a goal to enhance food security and economic stability across the state, is a direct response to the rising cost of essential food items, providing much-needed relief to various communities.
The soaring cost of food items and other basic necessities has placed a huge burden on families in Katsina State, particularly government workers, pensioners and students. To ease this burden, Governor Diko Rada has launched the sales of essential food items at a subsidized rate in a shopping program tagged Rubum Soki. The Rubum Soki initiative offers residents an opportunity to buy essential food items such as rice, maize, flour and other staples at affordable prices through a 10% subsidy made possible through a 4 billion naira commitment by the state government to alleviate economic hardship faced by workers, retirees and other senior citizens across the state.
They have put in place mechanisms that will prevent mismanagement, ensure accountability. Beneficiaries, including the state and local government workers, local education authorities staff, citizens aged 60 and above will have access to this subsidy commodities, but with a structured limit of 1/3 of their monthly earning or pension. This approach guarantees fairness, prevent hoarding, and ensure that as many deserving citizens as possible benefit from this initiative.
Beyond providing immediate relief, the program is expected to have substantial economic impact across the state.
We'll have a turnover of a minimum of 30 billion annually, because the program is starting with 4 billion. And when you look at it, it continues over time. So all those enrolled in this program will have a turnover of minimum of 30 billion annually. And that translates into create employment opportunities for our people and wealth creation.
Meanwhile, Special Advisor on Rural Economy, Yakubu Danja, expatiates on the governor's vision for expanding the program's reach.
For now, The beneficiaries to start with are the workforce of the state and the local government and the retirees. With time, His Excellency wished to expand this gesture so that all beneficiaries that are not in formal sector, especially citizens above the age of 60, are also going to benefit.
Beneficiaries are therefore asked to make responsible use of this program, adhere to its guidelines and support its sustainability as the government assures to remain committed to policies and programs that uplift the citizens, improve livelihoods and create opportunities.
The Kano State Governor, Governor Abba Yusuf, has officially flagged off the reconstruction of 17 major roads across the metropolitan area of Kano, marking a significant step in his administration's infrastructure agenda. Speaking at the event, Governor Yusuf reaffirmed his commitment to fulfilling his campaign promises by investing in road networks that will improve transportation, boost economic activities, and enhance the overall livability of the city. In a related development, the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Mr. Ahmed Dangiwa, inspected ongoing federal housing projects in Kano State, reiterating the federal government's determination to address the state's housing deficit. Our correspondent, Sadiq Eliasu, has more.
After years of neglect, several strategic roads across Kano metropolis are undergoing reconstruction in a move aimed at easing traffic congestion and improving accessibility. The first phase of the project, slated for completion within 4 months, include the reconstruction of Club Road, Ashtar Road, Airport Road, and Murtala Muhammad Road, all of which serve as crucial links to markets, schools, hospitals, and government institutions.
We made a promise. When elected by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are going to make Kano, especially in terms of infrastructural development, as one of the best cities in Nigeria.
By rebuilding these roads, the state is not just improving transportation, but also enhancing economic opportunities and urban mobility.
We are not deterred. We remain resolute, and we will continue to do what is good for the people of Kano State. On this note, as I said, this is just one out of 17 mega road rehabilitation projects within the metropolis.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, who is in Kano to assess the progress of federal housing projects, emphasized the federal government's commitment to bridging the housing gap and improving living conditions across the state.
These are inclusive cities that we intend to have in 7 locations, one in each geopolitical zone of the country. We also intend to have a renewed hope estates in the remaining 30 states of the Federation. We have taken 12 states now where we are building 250 houses of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom affordable houses for Nigerians. Then we intend to take the remaining 18 states to continue with the renewed hope estate.
With these major infrastructure projects underway, residents and business owners in Kano are hopeful that the initiatives will not only improve urban mobility, but also stimulate economic growth in the state. Sadiq Ilyasu, Channels Television News.
Still in Kano, the state government has officially received 27 compressed natural gas-powered vehicles from Naseni, a government initiative for made-in-Nigeria goods through innovation. The handover event, which took place under the Restore program of the Kano State Internal Revenue Service, is aimed at promoting CNG technology and innovation, creating an eco-friendly environment and a cleaner and more efficient fuel compared to petrol or diesel. Channels correspondent Nanchin Vincent reports.
Compressed natural gas is gradually gaining popularity as preferred fuel for use in vehicles and machines across the globe. Here in Nigeria, Kano State is making significant progress in adopting compressed natural gas innovation to meet its financial objectives, as 27 vehicles are handed over to the Kano State government through the Asset Recovery Program of the Internal Revenue Service.
The Kano Inland Revenue Services and the Executive Vice Chairman of NASENI, I hereby commission the full restoration of 27 vehicles of the Kano Inland Revenue Services.
The director of the Kano State Internal Revenue Service, Zaid Abubakar, notes that the hybrid petrol and CNG-powered vehicles will reduce operational costs and promote sustainability for economic growth.
We expect a reduction of more than 40% in our cost of collection. We expect more than 50% reduction in our operational cost going forward. So this is the whole idea behind it. And we, because we are dealing with a lot of state agencies that are asking for a lot of funding and financing from the government, we came up with this idea in order to reduce that so much pressure on the state government so that other resources will be diverted to other areas of need.
Experts outlined the benefit of the CNG vehicles as they applaud the government's effort to shift to CNG vehicles and enhance innovation and technology.
These vehicles will enhance the ability to respond swiftly to responsibilities, improve efficiencies, and ensure seamless operations. On behalf of the Kano State Government, I would like to congratulate Kano State Internal Revenue Service for this wonderful achievement.
Today we are witnessing the first launch of this project. Like the chairman said, we are very happy with his comments because the whole idea is to bring back dead assets to life and also at the same time witness the impact, which the chairman just mentioned today. It will bring down their cost of operations by at least 50%.
Compressed natural gas is more eco-friendly and cost-effective benefits as the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure wants more Nigerians to tap into. From Kano Commercial City, Nanchin Vincent, Channels Television News.
Former Sokoto State Governor and Senator representing Sokoto South Senatorial District, Senator Aminu Tambuwal, said the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the state is working hard and re-strategizing towards winning elections and forming governments in 2027. He stated this in Sokoto shortly after flagging off the distribution of Ramadan package that would benefit over 31,000 households in the state. Meanwhile, Mr. Tambuwal, who is the leader of the PDP in the state, said the unity and cordiality that exists in the party is a sign of its strength and thereby called on party leaders across the state to maintain the unity till the party achieves its goals. He commended all elective members of the party, especially the federal lawmakers, for keeping in touch with constituent members.
So I would like to take this advantage of this opportunity to thank our chairman and the leaders of our party in the state for their continued hard work in organizing the party, in mobilizing the people, and making sure that our party remains strong in Sokoto and united. We are a united family, and we shall continue to work together towards reclaiming what has been taken away from us, as you know, in the last elections. Inshallah, by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are strategizing, we are organizing. I implore all of our leaders to continue the hard work of working together, coming together, and building the party. By the grace of God, by the grace of God, by the grace of God, we will get to our destination soonest, inshallah.
The Kaduna State government has launched its Bus Rapid Transit project, described as a cornerstone of Governor Uba Sani's urban mobility agenda. The project, designed to modernize public transportation, decongest city roads, and enhance the overall quality of life for residents by bringing order, safety, and reliability to public transit. Speaking during the unveiling of the project, Governor Uba Sani explained further that there will be a 24-kilometer dedicated transit corridor from Kawo Bridge to Sabon-Tasha, with well-structured bus stations and shelters strategically placed along the route. A groundbreaking ceremony was also performed for that aspect of the project. And that's where we drop the anchor on today's edition of Newsroom Series. I'm Dominic Irivo.